I would like to tell a lot of parents, have your kids hit the ball off the tee, show them where to hit it visually, but don't tell them what to do. Don't tell them to put their hands back. They will naturally make these movements. We mess them up eventually when we say, hey, man, do this, do that.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life. Yeah.
Boom, coming in hot, Chichi. What's going on, man?
Coming in hot. Look at you, fancy. You got a Gucci t-shirt on?
Oh, it's gnocchi.
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 How do you Italians say it?
Gnocchi. Gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
I
Sarah's always on me because I'm like, hey, you want to have some gnocchi tonight? She's like, what is that? I'm like, that's how the Irish say it in Pittsburgh.
Like
you have some gnocchi?
like manicotti.
Hey, manicotti.
Oh, no.
How do you guys say the mozzarella? The mutz or something?
Fresh mutz.
Fresh mutz.
Put some fresh mutz on. Some gabagool. Nice.
Gabagool.
Anyway, we have a Sean Casey deep dive into the art and the mentality of hitting today, which
Ooh, yeah, we do, baby. Yeah,
you brought it to the table. I didn't even bring this stat.
yeah,
this
wow,
news.
that's what I want. I love it.
All right, here we go. Young man named Trea Turner, the Phillies. You might have heard of him. He's maybe the fastest guy in the league. He's up there. They went, gave him the big deal, got him there. Horrible first half last year. Awesome second half last year. And now
he had a great first half last year.
Oh, shit.
Terrible first half in 23.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Great first half last year, and then bad second half.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so that all said, they are moving him back to the leadoff spot, Sean, and you have some quotes from him that really caught your attention. What do you got?
Well, first off, I really like it because I think Schwarber. It looks like right now they're talking about Turner, Harper, Bohm, Schwarber. I like Schwarber 3 or 4. I mean, you can put him in. Schwarbs is a run producer. He's a guy that can change a game right now. I kind of like him at 3, to tell you the truth. I think he's hitting lefties way better last year. He really had a great year. I think he's going to get an extension here soon. So I wouldn't even mind Turner, Harper, Schwarber. Almost like you look up and see, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, whatever. Just put your best hitters. Bam, there they are. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that would be interesting. But I love what Trea Turner said, because when you watch Trea Turner, man, this guy, when he's best, when he's playing free and easy. And he was saying that his chase rate is up last year. Like, his chase rate's usually like 27, 28%. And his chase rate when he struggles is almost 38, 39%, right? 40% of the time he's chasing. And at the end of the day, in this game, brother, it's hard already, but you're only as good as the pitch you swing at. Ted Williams, hey, how are you such a good Williams? You got a good pitch to hit. What's the most important about hitting? Get a good pitch to hit. Pete Rose, what's a good pitch? Good thing to get a good pitch to hit. Get your eyes checked. Pete Rose's book, his first sentence in his book, first chapter, go get an eye exam. Not like, hey, listen, let me show you about your hands, your foot, your rotation. No. Go get an eye exam. See if your eyes are good. Are you 20/20? They said Ted Williams' vision was a 25.
Nice.
25. Phew. That means what you saw at 5 feet, he said he saw 20.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He's a pretty good fighter pilot, too.
Not bad. Yeah, exactly. So Trea Turner had a great quote that I was reading this article. He said, he said, some of my struggles in the second half, a lot of similarities of just early here in 2023 when he struggled. Just a similar thing of trying a little too hard and wanting to do too much at times. And then it just kind of snowballs, and it's not the good, consistent baseball that I want to play personally. He said, I've always had really good stretches, but it's those down trends that have been really bad. I feel like in the past that's not the case. Put the ball in play more, take your walks, all those things. Obviously, I know those things are good, but when you're in the box, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. So there's a couple things here I want to talk about. In Breakthrough Pro, I like to talk about speeds of force. Speeds of force. And what do I mean by that? Speeds of force in life, you have a call you need to make it. You have a tough conversation you need to have, do it now, right? But speeds of force in baseball with the process. So what he's saying is, when I go bad like this, right? And I want to say the process for baseball is, if you look at my hand, it's never a straight line. You're going to get hot. You're going to have a cold spell. You're going to be neutral. You're going to get hot. But do you see how my hand's going up a little and it goes down below the line a little bit and it goes up a little? That's a consistent big leaguer. Those are your superstars. That's why Trea Turner, he's done that most of his career. That's why he's $300 million player. Those are your superstars. But what he's saying is, too often lately in these last couple of years, that trend goes, when he goes bad, he goes bad. And now all of a sudden you're looking up. I've been there. You're looking up and you're in this rut. You're like, holy crap, how did we get down this mountain? We're not only we're past the mountain, we're in the dirt. How did I get here? Well, you get there from trying too hard. You get there from not slowing down. Because the problem is when you struggle in this game, Chinch, what happens? You speed up. Your breathing gets shallow. You want that. You want to make it happen. This isn't football. I had somebody tell me one time, it was a great thing. I used to tell the guys told the guys with the Yankees. I said, when you're driving and you get lost, do you speed up?
No, you don't. It's a good point.
You pull over.
You're not going to drive faster in the wrong direction.
Exactly, dude. You're going the wrong direction. All of a sudden, but if you don't realize it, sometimes you're going the wrong direction. You don't realize. You just keep driving. I know it's this way. Well, no, it's not. You put on Waze and it goes, you're going the U-turn. How about telling you, Waze shows you like, yeah, U-turn up here, next exit, and go back the other way. Oh my God, I missed it. Right? So in baseball, when you get lost and you feel uneasy, slow down. Even stop. Have awareness of what you're doing. Slow down. And like Trea Turner says, what do I do when I'm great? He talks about he likes to look at good video. I used to like to look at good video too, instead of like bad video. No, good video. I want to look at myself when I was going really well. What was I doing? What was I thinking? Look how slow I am. Look how big the ball looked. So, there's so many good things here about process, so many good things about slowing down, so many good things about looking at good video and really leaning into that. And then he talked about consistency. If you want to be consistent, the process can't be a fall off the cliff, because if you're bad for 3 games, that's so much better than being bad for 3 weeks. 3 weeks will ruin your season, right? Sometimes. The other point the other one he makes too is so good. He says, I know those things, but you're in the box and you've got to do it. He said, obviously I know those things. You're in the box and you got to do it. It's like in life. You know that you should eat well, but you don't, right? So you get the results aren't random, results reveal. You think it, you speak it, and you act, right? Like when you think it's a lower vibration than when you speak it. You speak it now, you're like, oh my God, I just spoke it. There's a different vibration. Now you take an action, and that's the highest vibration you could take, right? So Trea Turner's saying, hey, listen, I know this stuff, but at the end of the day, I got to execute. I actually have to slow down, not chase balls, make sure I get my pitch and put the ball in play, take my walks, and then I will be a consistent player. And over 162, what are you judged with? You're judged, can you play every day? And how consistent are you in all these different categories? I think that's the biggest thing. And one of the things I always say in Breakthrough Pro is, listen, I get so sick and tired of people say, hey, man, knowledge is power, knowledge is power, knowledge is power. There's a great book right here called The Fifth Agreement, right? Great book right here called The Fifth Agreement. I beat it up, all that stuff. Well, there's some great stuff in here that I've taken action on. And there's probably some stuff in here that I haven't. But if I read this book and I was like, oh, man, that was a credible book, a lot of knowledge I got, and I did nothing about it, I'm the same as the newborn kid down the street. You know what I mean? We're the same. He doesn't even know. I know, but I don't take that. So knowledge is potential power. Knowledge is potential power, right? At the end of the day. Well, you want knowledge? You want knowledge to be power? You got to take an action. You got to take an action. And once you take that action, now you get momentum. Once you get momentum, now you get motivation, right? It goes up. But you have to take the action first. So you want to talk about this stuff being directly related to the game of baseball and life. It is. When you think, speak, and act all in congruency with each other, it's like the natural laws of the universe. They're gonna give you exactly what you're getting. You're gonna get good things when they all line up. It's when they don't line up that we're like, oh, I don't know how this happened. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You know exactly how it happened. You know it's a good idea. You told people a good idea, but you did nothing about it. And the universe goes, hey, you took no action. So you get this garbage over here, this poop salad. Here you go. You know what I mean? So I love that, man. We all know what we should be doing. We got to take action on it, which creates momentum, and the momentum creates motivation, and that changes everything.
Great job, man. Also, bonus points for the word congruency getting it. I want to go back. I love it. Your point about him looking at good video. I will name drop here. Back when Joe Girardi was at the network with us, I had my nephew was 8 years old, and he was having trouble. He was like dropping his shoulder when he was trying to learn how to hit.
Right.
And I was at work one day, and I told Joe, and I'm like, Joe, like for little kids, and I'm like, what's your advice, whatever? And he goes, show them. He's like, just show them a video of like Mike Trout hitting and say, do this. And he said, because when they're young, until they're like, as we get older, we start putting things in our head. This is Joe Girardi saying this. I'm not my BS. You start putting things in your head, so you start thinking, okay, wait, how am I doing this? And you start getting into your head about your mechanics and sports, and oh wait, but I have to make sure I'm doing this and doing that. When you're younger, if you just look at something good, it's like monkey see, monkey do. Like if you have an older brother, you're gonna act like your older brother because you're watching him, and you're so you can absorb that and look at it. And I always thought that too. Like, go see yourself doing something great. If you're watching yourself do something bad, it's got to be almost like a bad feeling. I know you have to do it every once in a while. So
it's true. And you're give your brain credit how smart it is. You know, if you go to neuroscience, Cinch, you talk about our point of origin, 0 to 10, like 0 to 10 years old. Your brain's in a theta state. That means it's in a sponge state. It takes on so much. So think about this: when you're 0 to 1.5, you don't even have language. All you have is, oh, that's how my parents talk to each other. I'm gonna do that. Or oh, when I coo like this, I get food. Or when I cry like this, I get this. Or you're searching for your environment, and that's why we get into trouble as we get older. We go, this is just how we've always done it. This is how the Caseys do it. This is how the Chinchaminos do it. This is what we do. That's not true. What happened was your subconscious is driven by those years of when your brain's in that theta state, just developing. It's a sponge state where you're like, oh, and then all of a sudden those things develop, and you're right. What happens is you might look at a swing, or that's why with kids it's so good to be, hey man, do that. I used to tell my kids when they were young like that, hit the ball over the center fielder's head. I can't tell you how many times they did it, Chinch, all the time. Hit the ball over the center fielder's head. Well, what happens is, as you start to get older, you have your own concepts of what it feels like. I would like to tell a lot of parents, have your kids hit the ball off the tee, show them where to hit it visually, but don't tell them what to do. Don't tell them to put their hands back. They will naturally make these movements. We mess them up eventually when we say, hey man, do this, do that. All of a sudden, your brain's not free. And all of a sudden you start to really think about it. Now, I think about it. Now I'm thinking about what I'm doing. Why am I doing that? And all of a sudden it's not natural. It's not athletic. And next thing you know, you're like, what happened to that swing when I was 6 years old? I dominated. Well, started thinking about it, dude.
Yeah. So that's
shut you down.
So you're cool then. Like, let's get into like a professional baseball team now. First of all, a lot of it is like mental process. Like teams are bringing in like mental performance coaches now, right? That's part one. And part two, when you're there, like Bryce Harper, his like main hitting coach is his dad, right? So how's a franchise navigate the hitting coach? Like when you are a hitting coach, like, oh, this guy has had his dad be his coach his whole life, and he calls him when he has a problem. Do you invite that? Do you say, go call your dad, see what your dad has to say?
Are you kidding me, dude? I'm right in there. I remember telling Volpe, hey man, what's your guy's name? Boom, this is my guy's name. Okay, what does he tell you? What do you work on? When you're going well, what are you doing? When you're not going well, what are you doing? And that's why you got to get the player talking. You can't cookie cut hitting, dude. You can't cookie cut hitting. Guys' bodies move differently. Guys' hamstrings are tighter, hips. They say now, like, the tighter you are, the better you are. Like, oh, you got to get looser. No, dude, exactly. It's opposite. The body works sometimes with tight hips. It's tighter. It's movement. It's like, boom. It's a knockout punch. Jab. Boom, boom. Right? And so, like, you just can't cookie cut people with hitting. But what I would do is I'd go up and say, hey, dude, what's your guy say? Give me 2 or 3 things that you guys are working on, or so I can speak the language. Because I don't want to come in here with my stuff and go, hey, we need to do this, this, and this. And you got a guy you've just worked with for the last 10 years on hitting, and I'm saying something totally different than him. And then you're going to him and saying, hey, Casey's saying this. It's the opposite of what you're saying. Like, no, we're all grown adults here. We're all in at the big league level. We're big leaguers. And I'll tell you what, nothing worse that'll screw a player up is when you get different coaches telling you different things, especially when you get the pro ball. I saw this the other day. The life expectancy of a major league hitting coach is like less than 2 years. So guys playing on a team for 10 years, and you're having this hitting coach, this hitting coach, this hitting coach telling you who you are. Guess what, man? You better know who you are before you get the pro ball. I really believe that. I was very fortunate. I had a hitting coach, a guy, Frank Porco, who I'm indebted to forever. I knew my swing when I got the pro ball. And I must admit, when I first got the pro ball, Chinch, one of my coaches there said, hey, I just hit 461 at Richmond. I'm an NCAA Division I batting champion, second-round pick. I get there. Within 4 days, a guy gets a hold of a young guy, wants to make his mark. Hey, you're not using your legs enough. Well, I didn't know what that really meant. I just knew how I was really a hands guy, bat path guy. My body would work by itself. I tried not to rotate so much. I tried to be linear to the plate, drive through the baseball to it and through it, left center. He was like, hey, you're not using your legs enough. So I was like, what does that mean? He's like, well, get in your legs. So all I did was squat down. Dude, I became so bad. For seriously, for a week, I hit like 120. I wasn't driving the ball, nothing, because it wasn't how I hit. I remember Joel Skinner, thank God for Joel, was like, 12-year big league vet. He's like, dude, he goes, I've never seen you hit before. But he's like, it doesn't look like you hit like that. He's like, why did the Indians draft you in the second round? I said, because I can hit. What'd you hit at Richmond? 461. He goes, tonight, I want you to hit exactly how you hit. I don't know what that looks like, but, dude, I ended up winning the batting title. From that point on, I hit like 370. But the point is, I knew my swing. I knew where to go back to. I'd taken enough reps. I had enough good conversations. I knew what made me work. I knew how my body worked. That's important because, dude, you get these hitting coaches that are just giving you their philosophies, they'll ruin you in a heartbeat, and your career's over. That window shrinks quickly.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So, oh man, I'm gonna go start.
You find one guy you trust. There's one guy that you trust, and he's really making you the player you want to be. Stay with that guy. And then if you ever do get the pro ball or college ball, talk to that coach, communicate, and be like, hey, listen, Dave Magnin is one of my favorite hitting coaches ever in Boston. First day of spring training comes up to me, hey, Case, what are 3 things when you're going well, what are 3 things? And when you're struggling, what are 3 things? So I'd be like, hey, these are 3 things when I'm going well, 3 things when I'm struggling. Then I see him grab Big Poppy. Hey, Big Pop, give me 3 things and 3 things. So, dude, he had note cards for every guy. So during the season, if I was struggling, he'd go, hey, Case, you told me that first day of spring training, if you're not relaxed, you start to struggle. Hey, if you don't have your hands back, that's a key for you. If you're not going to left center, how are you doing those things? And I'd be like, oh my God, you're right, dude. I started getting pull happy. I didn't even recognize it. Thanks for being my eyes and ears from what I already told you. Like, get to know each individual. It was great, man. It was great. And then when he's in the cages with you, he's like, oh man, left center, get your hand. Oh, good, looks good. So that stuff is gold. And if you're a hitting coach in 2025 and you're not finding out who these guys are working with in the offseason, because they all are, you're an idiot.
Good
you're
stuff.
An idiot.
Good stuff.
You've got to be able to match it.
Nice.
You got to put your pride aside, dude.
I love it. By the way, good pull with Dave Magnin. That dude raked.
Career Mags raked.
16 years, career 288 hitter, career 390 on base percentage. Dude.
Bro, he was legit.
Ripped.
He raked, dude. He raked. Nice. I love Mags too. What a great guy.
Yeah. All right, hey folks, get outside in this. If you're up here in the north, get into a gym.
Yeah, get into a gym. Yeah.
Oh, Sean Casey with some words of wisdom like we haven't heard in a while. Good stuff, bro.
Yeah, man. Great stuff, man. All right, Chinch.
All right, brother.
I love you, bro.
Oh, hey, tomorrow. Why don't we kick?
Well, yeah, tomorrow we got Doc Roberts coming on. Dave Roberts, manager of the Dodgers, coming on with us tomorrow inside the mayor's office. It's going to be a great one. Doc's a good buddy of mine. I can't wait to connect with him and hear what he has to say about the awesomeness that's happening out there in L.A., coming off a World Series champion. So it's going to be great, man.
Yeah, here we go. All right.
Awesome. And also our fundraisers tomorrow night. So handbid.com, go to the handbid app.
It's in the link.
Yeah, in the link. Check it out. Some great items, and that's going to be a great night. So thanks for listening, everybody. Hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you 1 cent, but it helps us big time. Chinch, love you, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you.